Okay, let's get started. Hey Google Freaks, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda. If this is the first time here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can get a notification every single time that I post a video, and I post every single Friday. And as you can see on the title on today's video, I'm going to be giving you my full review of A Quiet Place 2. That was just released, well, I saw it yesterday, but in other places it's just being released today. So further ado, I'm going to be giving you my review with spoilers. If you don't want the spoilers but you still want to read a review, on the description box down below you will find my blog post where I do all my reviews spoiler free. I always give the two options because I know that people like the spoilers and I know people that don't. So I want to give everybody the option to choose here. So if you don't want the spoilers, pause the video, go read it. If you want to go watch the movie, go watch it, and then return here so we can see if we agree or disagree on something. If you like the spoilers, then sit down, enjoy, and relax, because let's get into it. Now the movie, it's obviously directed once again by John Krasinski, and it's about 1 hour and 37 minutes long. Yeah, precisely 1 hour and 37 minutes. Now the movie follows the events of the first one. The movie, it starts with a flashback of the day one. Now we have John Krasinski character. He's on the baseball game and he's buying some stuff, and on the news they're saying that something was seen on the sky, so we're going there. Now if you saw the trailer, you know that we saw that Cillian Murphy was going to be part of the movie, and on the trailer they don't really tell you much, only that he's going to help a little bit here, but it's on the first 5 minutes of the movie that it's implied, and we saw that he actually known the Abbott family before everything started. They were friends. I didn't say neighbors because I don't know how close they were, but they were friends. So basically the movie, we could say like the first 5 to 10 minutes, it's just a full flashback of how everything happened, and then it jumps to the day 474. I am really bad with saying numbers, but 474. Now this scene we saw Evelyn with the baby. We see Regan and Marcus. Now they're escaping, we could say, and they're moving forward up from the valley, and this is a scene that it's on the trailer, that it's when they're crossing, and Emily, like Evelyn, she kind of, we could say, breaks like something that it's on the floor, and sounds and like many like bells, we could say, like they drop, so obviously sound is making, so the creatures are coming. So we see this, and obviously Cillian Murphy appears. She doesn't really recognize him at first, and he does recognize her, but he's kind of, we could say, a little bit guilty of not doing anything, because she asks him like, why didn't you help us or something, and he kind of says that he didn't feel like it, because he didn't know which persons were actually worth like helping, because he says that because of all that is happening, that people change. That's basically why he's justifying himself. Now, as you guys remember, if you saw the first one, with the sound frequency, the sound, it's like a target and kind of be a weapon against the creatures. So Regan soon discovers that when they're placed now, a song it's playing instead of just like nothing. A song that is Beyond the Sea, that song that it's on the end credits of Finding Nemo, that song. Now she's like, why this is being here, my dad will have heard it, and she kind of freaks out a bit. And also Marcus, he got a bear trap on his ankle when they were running, so he's injured, and they're all like on this underground, we could say it's a basement, and she wakes up on the middle of the night, and she wakes up Marcus, and she tells him that she discovered that it's actually a code, that the Beyond the Sea, it's a code that some people actually decided and are on an island, and she wants to go to get a boat so that they can run away. But Marcus tells her like, you shouldn't do that, I'm going to tell mom. She escapes. obviously, because if she didn't, we couldn't have a movie. And basically, Evelyn claims to Emmett, and she begs him to go and rescue her because obviously she needs to stay with the baby and Marcus. So the group separates, and he goes and finds Regan, but she convinces him of going with her to find if there are boats available so that they can run. And this is when I could say the film gets really, really good and interesting, because the group parts on three. We have Evelyn that is looking on a drugstore so for some medicine because of Marcus' injury. We have Marcus and the baby, and then we have Emmett and Regan. We have three different things happening at the same time, and the movie managed to give you exactly what is happening at the same time without being confusing, which I give points to that. Also, the thing with this movie that I think that it's so good about it, it's the fact that it's almost like no sound at all. I mean, the dialogues are really a few, so the fact that it's really silent and quiet, the jump scares, they work really well. You don't really expect them. Some of them you know that they're coming, but most of them they work really well. They don't seem forced, they don't look out of place, so I give points for that. Obviously, we have really great acting from Emily Blunt. She does a really well as the kids. I mean, Regan, I don't know the name of the actress, but she did a really great job once again. I mean, the movie itself, it's at the level of the first one. If I am going really general, the movie itself, it's as good as the original. Now, moving forward, when we have these three stressful scenes happening where they all suddenly get in danger and you don't know if someone's going to die or survive. I'm not going to say much on that because I don't want to spoil everything, but basically it's really three stressful situations, but everything happens and develops and moves on. Now they eventually found a boat, and this is when they realize that the creatures, they can swim. So this is why they actually get to the island, and instead of people like greeting them like who are you and with guns and like that type of behavior, they are really friendly and they gave them some food, something to cover, so they can rest. And this is when we have a character telling him that basically the national ward on the first day, they realized that since the creatures they couldn't swim, they started putting people on boats so that they could run and evacuate. They have 12 boats, and because of the panic and the sound and everything that started to happen, only 2 boats were able to actually went away. So it's obviously implied that a lot of people died on the process of trying to get them away on this island. Now this island is pretty safe and everything, but sadly on the boats that they came in, a creature was inside. So the creature gets free and starts like killing everybody. And this Regan and Emmett, they run away with this character, and he's like honking so he could have some sound and kind of distract the creature. But the creature, it's nowhere to be seen. But then suddenly he grabs the character and dies. Basically, he's on the movie for around, we could say 5 minutes, maybe a little bit more, but it's really short screen time here. So they get to what we can see that it's like the radio station of the island, and this is from where the song is being played. So the creature appears, and to Regan's idea, she decides that she's going to use the radio to the frequency of her ear thing. I don't know really how are those things called, but because she is deaf, because obviously the sound, she needs the microphone so it can amplify and do a better effect on it. We have a fight. Emmett seems kind of injured. I thought he was going to die. He doesn't, but I really thought that he was going to die. But he's a little bit injured, but he's okay. And Regan, she's the real hero of this movie because she puts her thing on the microphone, but she amplifies it to the way that it's here on every single radio that the song was being played. So obviously the creature that was in front of them, it's dead. Evelyn eventually returns with Marcus and the baby, and they all three trap, and this creature eventually finds them, and Marcus kind of saves the day too, because once the frequency starts, he hears it on the radio, he starts like doing like this, and He has a gun, he grabs the gun and he shoots. And basically, he kind of saves the day too. But what really it's really impressive of the movie, it's how the movie ended actually. And it's the fact that the movie ended with a shot of the ear thing hanging on the microphone. That was it. That's how the movie ends. On a really huge cliffhanger, even one person on the movie theater shouted that this movie is crap. And I was like, probably you haven't even see the first one, but where? Everyone has their opinions now. The movie itself, like I said, it really goes to the level of the first one. It's a really good movie. Now, if I'm going to be honest, I don't think that they should do a third one because a third one is not even confirmed. I don't know if they were planning already because I know that sometimes they write movies with the in mind of doing sequel and maybe a trilogy or doing a lot of movies, but sometimes they don't and they need to write something just because the first one was successful, so people is asking for more, so they do another one, which is kind of what they did here. But this sequel works really well. It's not forced, it's not like a wanted, like it's a really good extension of the plot. But the third one, like I said, is not even confirmed. So in my opinion, I think that they should leave it there and leaving like this huge cliffhanger and leaving people wondering if how things will turn out, because yeah, now we know how they can defend themselves, but I don't really see what else they could bring to the table and how they can extend this even longer. So in my full opinion, I think that they shouldn't, but probably they're going to. I mean, if the movie is a success, even with the pandemic and everything, they're probably going to be doing a third one that could be coming, who knows, maybe next year or 2 years from now. Now, do you think that they should do it? Like I said, I think that they shouldn't, but in overall, the movie is a really good movie. The shots, the transitions of the movie are really well made. I really like it. That also the shots, and I really like it. Everything worked really well. Obviously they're using the same formula as the first one, but still works. But just because it's good and it works, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be keeping it long and long and long until there's nothing left. So I think that I don't really have much to say. The movie, obviously, it's not slow paced, but it doesn't leave you like on the edge of your seat maybe until the end. So you can sit down, don't relax too much. You're probably going to be scaring and jumping from these loud sounds that are suddenly appearing, obviously, because the movie is really quiet. But it's a really good movie. I could say I will give it a 4/5 stars and a 9 out of 10. Just because I don't think that it's an excellent movie. I don't want to call it the best movie of the year yet, just because we have a lot of movies coming already. But for me, I'm pretty sure that when I do my recap on December, this is going to be on my tops. Seriously. It has really well good critics already. So if you like it, the first one, you're gonna like this one. So I suggest you to go and watch it. On the movie theater, it's even better because of the sound effects, because everything obviously sounds a little bit higher. So on that, I think that it's really important. Sound is really important. So I suggest you go and watch it. Seriously, you're not going to regret it. If you like it, the first one, you go. If you haven't watched the first one, I suggest you to do it and then go and watch the second one. Seriously, you're going to thank me later. And basically, this is all for today's video. I don't know how much I have been talking. Well, I never know. I just talk and talk and talk. But I really enjoyed this movie. I was really expecting to it. Probably my next review is going to be The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. That it's going to be released on June 4th. That is basically next week. So obviously, I'm going to be watching that and giving you my full opinion. And thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments your opinion. What you thought about the movie. Have you already watched it? You're going to. And again, thank you so much. And I'm going to see you guys on the next video. Bye.